Hi, welcome for a live session of radiation safety. The radiation safety is very important topic in the construction industry and oil and gas industries. All kind of construction related industries, the radiation play a lot, and the rays of alpha, beta, gamma rays are a vital one, and its harmful effects require a lot of safety measures. In worldwide, the radiation safety is play a major role to cause any kind of abnormalities, carcinogenesis diseases. So it's better to know the radiation safety, especially those who are working in construction field and welding areas and checking the various welding parameters. This radiation safety is very much important. The construction, the oil terminals, and the various the welding checks, and those who are working in the laboratories, wherever the radiation safety plays a major role. So we need to think about the radiation safety wherever the implementation is there. So here we are starting our live session of radiation safety. This radiation safety is nothing but alpha, beta, gamma rays. This alpha, beta, gamma rays are the mainly causes of the radiations. These radiations having the harmful effects on the human beings. So whenever you are exposing the radiation, you have to take lot of proactive measures to save from the radiations. So these radiations, we can say the alara, gas, low, gas, reasonable, possible. We can say yes, low, as, reasonable, and achievable. Sir. So yes, low, as, reasonable, achievable. That is our main goal. How much we can protect from the radiation safety, that much we can protect. So the radiation safety overall covers with these three rays, that is alpha, beta, gamma rays. In this gamma rays, we can call it as X-rays. So those who are doing the X-rays in the laboratories, exposing the X-rays, so there are some abnormalities are happening due to the X-rays. So the radiation safety, we have 6 practical applications. What are the 6 practical applications we can have to protect from the radiation safety? One is wear PPE. Personal protective equipment is very important when you are going for a radiation safety, radiation areas. For example, in oil and gas or construction industry, normally they check the radiation welding checks. For example, the oil terminal inside, so there is an oil terminal, the terminals inside, for example, the tanker, we can call it as a tanker. In the tanker, there are welding plates are there. These welding plates to be leaking or checked through the radiations. So where these rays are normally used for detecting the welding leakages through the radiation. So whenever the radiative X-rays are surrounded that area, totally sealed and barricade required, and there are each race having the shielding is there. Something not able to, so if in case of plastics, Plastic, you can wear it for, here you see, the race, each race having the shelter is there. So in that shelter, for plastic, you can have the one effect. Aluminium shielding, here the alpha rays cannot penetrate in paper. Beta rays cannot penetrate in plastic. Gamma rays cannot penetrate in lead or concrete. So, you must know it, which rays is not able to penetrate in which material. Based on that material, you can have a PPE. In that PPE, when alpha rays is paper shielding enough. When the beta rays is there, plastic is enough. When the gamma rays is there, concrete or lead metals enough. So that where the PPE is, and conduct safety audit. So before having the radiations, you must have the proper safety proactive measures. First you have to wear the PPE. Then, as I said, based on the shielding, you have to wear the PPE material, the covering material. Overall covering material, you can have it either plastic or paper or concrete or you can say lead. Then second one, conduct safety audit. Before going for a radiation, then you have to go for a proper safety audit, whether properly all the areas covered, sealed, and then proper safety signboards are there, no one allowed to enter inside, and then what are the rays you are going to check, and what is the permissible limit for that radiation. You have to know it through the safety audits. You have to check it. Then be prepared for emergency. In case of radiation exposure happen for some people, then you have been prepared for an emergency plan for the radiations. People always be ready with the ambulance. In case of any abnormalities or emergency, they have to take care and they have to give the proper treatment for the emergency exposure for the radiations. And monitoring the radiation, you have to monitor radiation with the proper technical people, how much quantity they are giving the radiation rays. Is it permissible limit or not? If it's exceed means you have to stop the work immediately. That kind of things, safety professional they have to do it. And the possession limit, what will be the possession limit for that areas? For example, in case of the possession limit excess, then there will be an emergency. Then you must have a overall how much plan you have and how you can decrease the overall lines. So that's very important. So the radiation side, these are the proactive steps you can take it before doing the radiations. So safety audits are there, be prepared for the emergency, and then monitor radiations lengths, and then the possession limit, and decommissioning the funds. You have to finally, after completed that, you have to decommission properly the radiation areas, radiation place. You have to decommission properly. That will be the sixth one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to be there for radiation safety. Then what are the key principles for the radiation safety? Number one is time. So how much time you are doing the radiation? So the radiation timing should not be long time. It should be a short time, and that time you must be calculated, and based on that calculation only you have to work. Too much exposure of this alpha, beta, gamma rays definitely will damage your organs and harmful effects to the human skin and organs. So whenever you have a radiation, you have a plan for a time, And distance, what will be the how much distance it will be covered. You cannot simply radiate neighbor areas. You have to make the radiation velocity within the construction area, within their limits. It should not be exceed their limits. And shielding, as I said, before going for any radiation activities, you have to do the shielding of, in case of alpha rays, you have to do paper shielding. In case of beta rays or X-rays, you have to do the plastic shielding. In case of gamma rays, you have to do the lead or concrete. Then exposure limits, you have to do the how much exposure you can do it. Then the sheltering around the radiation areas, you must have a radiation shelter. In the radiation shelter, proper signboards, then radiation officer must be there. You can have he must have the radiation knowledge, and that radiation knowledge we can call it as a radiation safety officer. He always check all these things. For example, all wearing the PPEs, A to Z, he all check it, and everything okay, then only it's allowed for the radiation work. So it should be priorly committed, priorly everyone has to be informed, and the radiation activity signboard you must bear there in the construction area saying that the radiation hazard, be alert. That kind of thing you have to make it for the radiation, because the radiation is always the harmful effects of carcinogenesis or cancer causing radiation is always there. So that's why this much importance people normally taking it. So whenever you are working in a radiation areas, be alert, because if the radiation is beyond the limit, then it will be the harmful effects to the human beings from head to down. So we can call it as a ALARA, as low as reasonable, achievable. Reasonably, how much we can achieve, that much we can achieve for that radiations. So the overall the radiations must be a proper way of conducting the risk, because this is the highest risk. We can call it as a highest risk level when you are doing the radiation work wherever, then the highest risk is there. So there should be a proactive steps to be taken. In that proactive steps, you can have a wear PPE. You should not simply wear the PPEs. You must have a shielding materials are there. Whether the alpha, beta, gamma, these three rays having the different shielding material. In case you are using the gamma, then you have to be lead or concrete. Or if the beta, then plastic shielding must be there. And be prepared for emergency, because radiation leak will make big human life challenges and risk. So there should be a proper way of emergency planning must be there. There should be emergency prepared plan. That plan should be submitted. Emergency prepared plan should be submitted, and also the monitor how much you have detection leakages. So always there should be a monitor the detection leakages. In case wherever it's leaked, if excessive number, you have to be a special safety officer. Is a radiation safety officer should be monitored during the radiation work. So in case of any leakage, any issues are there, he will immediately ask them to stop the work. You see, vessels are there, big vessels like this. The welding are there for oil terminal tanker, big tanker. In that welding area, the radiation, they will enter it, radiation, they will pass it inside. Then these all the areas are sealed, and there should be a safety officer here. Safety officers here, and then this area is totally surrounded with the proactive shielding areas, and all safety procedures are followed in this area. This radiation should not go to beyond this limit. It should not go to the beyond these limits. And here the monitoring is there. Say radiation safety officer monitor whether any excessive leakage are there or not, and then the overall after completion there should be a decommissioning issues, and then they will check how much the radiation is emitted during the radiation work. If any abnormalities, then they have to go for another analysis and further reviewing. Then once you did, after 3 days only, it should be removed everything, and after 3 days the persons all exposed for the radiation needs to be isolation. These people needs to be kept for isolation 3 days, and the monitoring should be done. If there is no abnormalities, then only they will ask them to go for that. So this is the overall the radiation safety, how it works. Then this kind of works they are doing. This radiation safety is very, very harmful to the human being when it's exposed more. There should be a permissible limits are there. Within that limit, if they are working, no issues. If above the limits, definitely the issues are there. So it required lot of proactive steps. As I said, the continuous proactive steps only we can reduce the radiation risk level. So those who are having the carriers like safety officer, you can study more radiation safety and its structures and how it works, what is the permissible limits, and how the radiation interacts the human body, and what are the harmful effects of the radiation, and what are the proactive steps to prevent the radiation leakages. And these are the things. Being a radiation safety officer, you have to know it. Safety officer become radiation safety officer. There are a lot of opportunities for construction and oil and gas industries for the radiation safety officer. You can definitely improve your radiation safety standards and get a radiation safety officer jobs, especially those who are non-destructive areas. The companies like a non-destructive NDT, destructive test. We can say NDT. So this how this NDT works, non-destructive test. This test normally they will do with the radiation only by means of welding checks. In the oil and gas, tankers all welded by the plates welded with the welding. So this welding is any leakages are there or not, it's checked by the NDT professionals. The NDT professionals using the radiation only they will check it. So that's why this radiation safety is very, very important. So make your career radiation safety officers and get more career opportunity, and be careful about the radiations, the alpha, beta, gamma radiations. Whenever going for radiation areas, proactive steps to be taken, especially shielding, and the limits always there, that you have to always work with the permissible limits. So thanks for the joining the radiation safety. So this is the end of our live session. If you have any questions, comment us. We can just guide you, and then we will give the answers for that. Okay, any question you can ask through the comments section. Definitely we will help you in this. Thanks for the joining. Thank you.